we're live. Welcome everyone to Cisco Canada's video podcast, which is kind of interesting. It's not a podcast, but we're going to video. So we're going to put this up on YouTube as well as our podcast channels as well. But we're super happy today to have a few folks from from the United States as well as Canada. These are legends. And I am super happy to have them. And we thought we'd have a little laugh today. So I'm going to pull this Foodie Unite thing because these gentlemen need a little bit of an introduction, but not much. But I'm going to
dying for attention. Dying for attention.
Glad that logo wasn't over us the whole time. That was getting exhausting.
I just pulled my back, actually, doing that right there. Pulled a hammy, Mark. I don't know what to do. Let's go to the hospital. Oh, shit, it's closed.
So today, we're super excited to have these amazing men on the show. And we're actually going to have someone else, but she can't make it today, unfortunately. It was a surprise guest, but we'll tell you guys that later. But anyways, we do have from Canada, the one, the only, Ryan Smolkin from
right? In your face! It's not the competition yet. I was getting competitive already.
Why are you so angry, bro?
Thanks for having me, Jay. It's wonderful to be here.
We're super happy to have you. And I think the other thing is, today I just want to mention, today we're going to talk a little bit about the industry, the food service industry and restaurants, a little bit, because we know we have to talk about it. We have to, send our vibes of love to them and to everyone's going on. Also, we have an amazing two gentlemen that I was trying to figure out how to introduce, because I don't know if you're like, do you guys get upset when someone says Mark and Faye or Faye?
I don't know
what
the word upset means, but
no, does it?
No.
So
I know upset means, but I don't know what the word upset means. Mark, is he trying to? What the hell?
Canadian.
Sorry, Mark. Could you explain? Mark, I feel small and it's dark in here. Can you help me find a way out?
That's a Canadian thing. So first of all,
sorry.
I'm going to introduce these guys before we get into this, but we're going to talk a little about the industry, and then we're going to have a little fun because today is the first official 2020 vinyl album off, right? We're going to see who is going to have the best vinyl, and these boys are going down. But first of all, I want to introduce the Grill Dads from the Food Network are here today. Mark and Faye, welcome to the show as well.
Happy to hear about you here, buddy.
Standing O.
Yeah, buddy. Happy to be here.
Are you guys excited? Are you totally excited?
We had fun last time. I don't know if you ever aired it, but it was fun.
I think I did. You know what? It's a little rated. It's not for children. That one.
I've never been more excited to be on any podcast.
Right, especially when you have a legend like Ryan.
Oh, stop.
I mean, any guy that wears his, gradient sunglasses in a room on a podcast with double flannel.
Fire it up, baby. Nobody has
seen
these eyes.
I see your mirrors, pal. That's really good, man.
I see me and you.
Smoke is with me.
You're a great Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah.
Dude, I am stuck in the 80s. I've never been afraid to admit that. 80s
I love
glam
it.
rock and headband.
We didn't have this stuff dealing with what we're dealing with in the 80s, by the way. We had Back to the Future. We had amazing stuff in the 80s. And today, I do have some of that in vinyl, by the way, boys. Right?
Telling you, I brought one, and it's the winner.
I got a stack. Like I said 3.
It's going to be like the McDonald's 35 that you got with the Filet of Fish song on it, like Big Mac Filet of Fish quarter. I have that still.
There's a Filet of Fish album. How do I get that?
Filet of Fish album.
You ate it. It was underneath the tray. You just didn't see it.
So, gentlemen, I want to just for a minute, because I know this is like the hardest podcast we'll do because all 3 of you are the alpha males, I think.
Whatever. That is so
whatever.
BS.
I don't
look for attention.
Stop talking.
I just stopped too. Okay, BS. I'm just gonna stop. I mean, I'm not listening to you anymore. Oh,
I'm leaving this podcast. Okay.
But what I want to do is just shout out because we all dealing with some pretty incredible times right now, and we're all getting ready to. There's a lot of restaurants figuring out how to snap back. So I want to talk a little bit about snapping back. And at Cisco, we have a snapback toolkit on foodiesunite.ca website that we have for customers out there to help them with a whole bunch of resources. We'll even help them build their menu, help them with their website, help them with recipe ideas and everything else that
poutine you had for lunch.
Yeah, gives you some heartburn. That smoked poutine, huh?
Yeah. He didn't even know that was coming. That was nice. And
everybody,
folks,
the all-you-can-eat competition happening right here, right now, live.
Right. So if I
regret setting this up yet?
I know, I'm worried about it. What should be in my highest rating one yet? Anyways, I do want to talk a little bit about snapping back. I know, Ryan, you have a lot of stores in Canada right now, all over the world. Do you want to say anything right now to the industry regarding snapping back and anything that you're thinking about doing, or anything you recommend you want to tell our listeners?
Sure, dude. I mean, it's 7 weeks, just over 7 weeks now, and this has been the longest, craziest 7 weeks ever in anybody's lifetime and in this industry. But I think it's starting to hit that point now that we can start looking ahead and get off our ass and start planning and start not just sitting around waiting, but get out there and start fucking fighting for it and start getting this shit back up and going, because I think too many people have been sitting back for the last 7 weeks and just waiting. And I'm not saying bad about them, but I guess I'm saying bad about them. It's like that. It's okay. Some have been legitimately shut down because malls are closed and you know, they don't have a choice to have the doors shut. But anybody who's had that choice and out there fighting for it for the past 7 have been really fighting, and it's been a long 7. But now it's going to be what are the next, you know, not just weeks, months, but years ahead. And to get out there and survive, it's to get off your ass and go do something. So it's stuff like this, man. It's just do what you can and get the word out for survival.
Absolutely. And then Mark Fay, what do you guys think about that? You know, you're not necessarily in a restaurant right now dealing with Ryan, but you're definitely connected to the food world more than a lot of people. So what do you think about this snapback stuff?
I mean, from my perspective, I mean, we talked about this earlier a little bit, but snap back, it's more like we have to figure out how to snap forward, because it's not going to be the same. And, you know, we were talking about this a little before we even started, but this is not the new normal. It's going to be the new different. And I think the new different is what we need to embrace. And we need to look at things from a completely new way and make that an advantage, not a disadvantage. So I think the only possible way for us to rationalize the decimation of a global economy and the decimation of an industry that is, you know, should be probably a lot more of our income, but a fair amount of our income, which is restaurants and food service, right, and stuff like that. Only way to do that is to try and create new, not try and get back what we had. Because I don't actually think that's plausible, and to be honest, it could be a new opportunity to see things differently, and I truly believe that. I mean, Mark and I have to innovate right now. We've actually got more traction. You know, look, we don't have restaurants. We're just eye candy. Okay, we're just beautiful men. Okay, that people want to look at often, and we know that. Okay, it's a burden. I know you guys don't understand this, but Mark and I do. Okay. But like we've gotten more. We've gotten
Stop
more.
being so beautiful.
You guys
You're
are
damn Skippy, man. You try and walk around in this body.
Beauty.
No, you guys. I can't wash this off, guys. You try and walk around, okay, looking like this. All right. Talk about a burden. All right. So, you know, I think Mark and I have had to embrace the idea that they want more of this. All right, in a virtual setting, they want it for real, but don't touch. So, you know, we've had to actually innovate our own, you know, kind of B- food celebrity stature. Yeah. Right, Mark?
I think we're B+ in Canada.
Are we?
No.
After this, you're going A- after this.
Yeah.
Wow. Mark, we've arrived, brother.
I mean, here's the
Justin. Do you hear that? Sorry, go ahead.
Here's the take. You know, the quicker we mourn the death of what was, the sooner the restaurant industry will be able to thrive. Because with I love that little lower third ticker tape there. So there's you know, everything is broken, and the problem is it's going to be a long time before capacity for restaurants gets back up. And in a restaurant industry where there's a net profit in a successful restaurant of, you know, 2 to 5%, but you just had a 50% reduction in capacity. Then you have all the asshole delivery people taking 25%, because it very quickly felt like we were moving towards a delivery model, but that's more broke than anything. And I think we need to flush all that shit down the toilet and rethink everything. And to Faye's point, like if we keep focusing on bringing back what was, I think it'll be the death of any restaurant owner. It's like it's forget everything and start over.
That's exactly the point. We finally agree on something, Mark. It's only taken 23 years, but we agree. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, and we see that a lot, just even in the restaurant industry around menus, right? The amount of products, because I do know the stuff that we're starting to get ready to help our customers within education seminars and webinars and all this, is that it's all a puzzle, right? And when you have one of those pieces that don't fit that puzzle, right, it just ain't going to be a pretty picture. And we see that with some of the things that they're coming back to business with. So reduced menu sizes, yeah, it sounds great, but it's hard to reduce a menu to offer an experience to the guest that want to pay so much money, right? And then when you get into occupancy sizes, right? Like there's a lot of a lot of places are going 50 in the US, or some places are doing 25%. It's tough to make money at 20% of your seating ability in that restaurant to equal what you're offering.
It's tough. You won't make.
It's tough to make money at 100% of your seating capacity.
Well, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. So you take those factors, and then a lot of landlords, there's
don't get me going, man. Don't get me going on landlords, right?
I know the hordes popped up on in there, but it is tough. So we have all these different things, and we look from their side. We understand what they're dealing with as well. So it's a very tough model when we look at this industry moving forward. If we do not, and I really like that instead of snapping back, it's snapping forward. Faye, I think that's perfect because we have to.
Do you have a trademark on? You got the TM on that? I'm just going to write that
down. Of course. I would never say it in front of you two knuckleheads. No, I would never say it without it being completely protected. All right.
Snap
forward. No, here, Jay, just to expand on that. Here's where Cisco decided to innovate. Okay. Legitimately, and not try and supply what they've supplied before. It's find new roads. Like, let's find a new way of doing things. So, start talking about delivery, offering bulk, items to consumers, and, being able to kind of make good on a promise of the food supply, especially when everyone's freaking out about fucking toilet paper. Okay. We got to figure out a way to have some semblance of creativity that restored versus fear. Fear is the driver of all things that are bad. So the second that Ryan, you know this better than anybody. You've already said it. You're so confident in coming out, not just coming out better, stronger. We talked about this for a second, right? Like it is about
it might be smaller, but it's gonna be strong.
Well, hey, but you know what? Yeah. There will be more pandemics. Absolutely. Yeah, sure. There will be more situations. Yeah. By the way, 9/11 was a situation, okay, that caused literally a ripple that currently the reason I get frisked by a TSA member and if I'm not in the special line that Mark and I fly in, because we're obviously very famous. We only fly in special lines. You get the
celebrity line.
That's right.
Last time I was in Toronto, I was detained. I've told you that before.
Mark, but it has nothing to do. That's the old story. We can't get into that on here. Okay. I've told you to knock that off.
You get arrested for being a drug mule once, and for the rest of your life, airports are a pain in the butt.
Mark, you said that out. Stop. Okay.
But one thing though, it's key though, is like and it's kind of what you're all saying is like, so Cisco's doing like the home deliveries and taking that there. I could sit here and say, fuck you, Cisco, what are you doing? You're taking away from my business, or it's ready for change, right? Like, and I'm going to say, okay, that's where it's going. Guess what? I'm going to make the ultimate world's largest poutine kit to go home with them, right? I'm going to send a 50-pound bag of potatoes and 4 kgs of cheese curd and a big 4-liter pot of gravy. Then, like that, you just change, you adapt. I could sit here and cry that you're taking away from people coming in my store, but guess what? They ain't coming in my store.
Well, here's the thing, Ryan. Ryan, what you just said, so it's interesting. The community aspect. So your community garden just became your delivery service. All right. So I have a hypothesis on this. That 50-pound bag of potatoes and the shit tons of gravy and The
No,
kilograms.
50 pound. It's 50 pound.
Okay, sorry, 50 pounds. All right.
You're okay. You're okay.
But-
You're okay.
But imagine if you have an appointed person that orders the stuff for a small community, all right, or for a group of people that share. Okay, I'm actually seeing it now. Okay, so if you order a little bit more and everyone contributes, you're gonna see that happen with Sysco because of the bulk ordering, right? You're gonna see that broken up. That model is not just adaptation; it's evolution. Adaptation is trying to adapt into the current situation. What we're talking about, what Ryan just said, which is dope, is evolving. That's how things actually overcome.
So I'm going to ask you guys then. So brand identity, and I think a lot of these companies that are coming out right now that are not trying to sell products necessarily, but they're selling brand. How important is that right now?
I think that's huge. I mean, have you guys ever heard of Wagamama, the restaurant? Yeah. So I love Wagamama. I spent a lot of time going to those restaurants in my 20s.
I love your mom too.
That doesn't even make sense.
I know.
So Wagamama,
Cut that out.
To your point, Ryan, is they're doing cooking demonstrations with full recipes on their social and giving up the goods on everything that's in there because people aren't coming in the restaurants. And I think, I think there's probably a part of them that's, it's like, hey, let's share this with our fans so they can continue to experience Wagamama, and we know they miss it, so let's give it to them. But I also think it was a smart strategic move for brand affinity. Like, how do we make Wagamama a part of the conversation at home when the restaurant is closed? And I think it's super smart. And you see a lot of restaurants doing that now. And I mean, even Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles put out their recipe last week, I think. Yep. And man, I fucking love those waffles. I got super excited, and I think, again, it's like, I think those brands that you see doing stuff like that now, restaurant brands, are going to be the brands that are going to be open in 5 years still.
Yeah. Well, and one thing, just to echo that, the point of the whole question you just asked is brand versus restaurant or service. A brand transcends a service and products, right? A brand is something that hits you in the feels. It's an emotional connection. You have a behavioral reaction. It's something that stays. They're called fanatics. If you talk about people as consumers, you've lost. If you talk about people as fans, you've won. So in Ryan's case, Smokes, they have fans. The reason that Ryan has a brand is because he's developed fans of that particular service, which is poutine. So we are brand builders.
And that wasn't fed to him, by the way. Everybody out there, we've called fans for ever since the beginning of time. We've been around 11 years, and it's all been about brand. And now the last 7-8 years, we're an entertainment company. What do? We entertain. We're an entertainment company.
You provide experiences
all the way down from the franchisees to the managers, across the counter to the fans. So that is key, and that's what, maybe it's just boosted everybody to realize that. Not saying we're original, we're the ones who invented branding and culture, but everybody's really seeing the value in that now, and you have to adapt, have to get ready to do that beyond the four walls, beyond the food, the entertainment.
The one thing I just want to mention, what Ryan's also doing up here, that I just think is amazing, Ryan, and kudos to you too on doing this. But every day, this guy, and I don't know if you guys have seen him, is putting videos out about supporting local and other restaurants. And he's not doing, I think he did one of yours, but you're doing so many of everyone else around you in the area, in and around Toronto. You're out there promoting these brands, these restaurants. And in one day, at one time, they were your competitors in a way, right?
Yeah, everybody comes together now. Yeah,
and you've all come together. And I just, every day, I can't wait to see your video. And that speaks volumes about that exposure of your brand, because like you said, and back to what Mark was saying, is you've created a fan base. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with our brand. It's building everybody's brand, which in turn comes back to building your own. It's not rocket science, but the support local is really taken off. And yes, I did poutine, but it was only once on Poutine Day. Okay, it was National Poutine Day.
It really is a rising tides floats all boats sort of scenario.
You're right.
It's like all the restaurants, I mean, they need to come together, as an industry. And Faye and I did an episode of our podcast called Bone In, available on Apple Podcasts, debuted at #1 in North America.
Bone in.
But we did an episode with the chef, Sammy Mansour, who has a really awesome spot in LA called Pru and Proper. And we said to him basically like, hey, what is this? How is the restaurant industry going to come back? And he said, let's talk about why it was so easy for the virus to break the restaurant industry. And we never even really talked about it. And we just, and so again, it's like this is an acceptable time in history in the restaurant industry to fail, right? Like last summer, if someone walked up to your establishment and there was the white paper in the door, they're like, these guys failed. They did something wrong. You have the sentiment of the world right now. This is the time to do it, because if people see the white paper now, they're like, oh man, fucking virus got somebody else. And if you innovate now and it makes people a little bit uncomfortable, you're never going to have the same opportunity to train consumers for what this new way of doing things is going to be than you do right now. Yeah. So I think it's a super important time because we have the leeway. Restaurants have the leeway to break it and rebuild it right now, but it just has to happen fast.
But Mark, on that too, is I think that spurs a little bit of hope to some people that might be in a corner right now, right? Is that you're given an opportunity right now?
Jay, do you know how many restaurants were not able to make payroll before COVID, or very close to not making payroll, and then they get the PPP, like an insane amount because the margins are so small.
Yeah. They're puny, right?
1% and 2% tops. Like you're talking like so ridiculously. I mean, look, Ryan knows volume will help you in that equation, as in more franchises, restaurants, they pay a fee, you get kicked back, like all that. However, Mark's point is actually, this is a time of reflection. Why did the pandemic, after just 2 weeks of things being closed down, break the entire restaurant system?
But it's in a tailspin right away.
And that's global, by the way.
And and it goes,
you're right,
again, like in the restaurant industry and just in the world in general. You even see, like in our country, like the differences between the working class people and the white collar people. I mean, you've got people who are, hey, I'm the regional manager of a bank. Man, this is really tough. I mean, all that guy did was go home and unplug his IP phone into the desk in his house and open up his computer and go back to work. And he's no longer at risk. But restaurant workers, factory workers, UPS drivers, the hourly people, the only way that they can survive is to go out in it. Mm-hmm. And again, because the restaurant system is broken, the employees are a part of that broken system, and 5 days of no revenue for those people, the employees, they're sinking like the Titanic already. And by the way, that's a famous boat for you guys up in Canada that hit a glacier and stuff.
Mark, we should send our picture of us doing the together. Remember when we did
that'd be nice. I want to see that one now.
Ryan, wasn't Smoke on the Titanic at one time?
Smoke helped build the Titanic. No, he didn't. That wouldn't be no sense to be help build it. Wait, I didn't say that.
But he was. I think he was on it.
He was on it.
He was on with Leonardo.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I think when you look at this, and I say this to the restaurants out there, because my heart breaks for them, and I just feel so bad because I ran a lot of restaurants before I came over to Cisco, and I know how hard it is. And Mark, you're bang on about this model was flawed at the beginning, and for us to go back and to understand where it is, this is really, we have to look at this, and it's hard to look at these things in opportunities. It really is a positive opportunity for our restaurateurs out there to refocus on where they are. What are they doing good at? What are they going to do in the future going forward? That is going to make a difference, because the one thing I was looking at this, and I have to call out Maeve Webster, one of the ladies that we get some information of from down in the US. She's a brilliant writer, and she really wrote an article just recently on this, on the food trends post-COVID, and really about the industry itself. And there's some interesting things on there. But restaurateurs are right now have the ability to adapt and to change, to take risks, to do all these things that you couldn't do before. Train your staff differently. Look at those things that makes you unique and really pump those out moving forward. And I hope restaurants can take some of that advice from you guys and to look at it
Well,
and to sit back and reflect.
you're
Faye, do
bringing
you
up a really
remember? Go ahead, Faye.
well, go ahead real quick, because I had a very profound point to make. So
and
you
then I
can
have a
get your
better one after that.
Write it down.
whatever,
Don't
Ryan.
forget it, guys.
It's like school.
already-
Just put your hand up, guys. Just
You know,
like we're at school.
We said this last time too, but my dad was a commercial loan officer at a bank for 40 years, and Faye and I had an opportunity to get into a restaurant in LA when we were starting the Grill Dad stuff. We're doing guest restaurant takeovers. We were getting tons of people doing all this stuff. And we called my dad and we said, hey, here's what we're thinking about doing. And the first thing my dad said was, and this was way before coronavirus, this was 4 or 5 years ago. He said, the lucky restaurants fail quickly. Meaning it's such a broken system that the people who are truly cursed are the ones that cover their bills by a penny because they don't quit. And then all of a sudden, 7 years later, they've got $50,000 in personal credit card debt. They've got a restaurant that is literally just break even, and they have nothing to show for it, and they worked 80 hours a week. And that's a very common scenario that my dad was being protective of us. Like, hey, I don't want you two to do that, especially could you imagine working 80 hours a week with Faye? And so we looked at it and we really looked at what the upside was, and we decided not to do it. And we didn't have nearly the insight that we do now with the virus.
Absolutely. And I think that's the interesting part, that we look at these people that want to do this, right? And then you if you said to just anyone, hey, I want you to work 80 hours a week, you're going to have slim margins, a virus like this is going to take you out in 2 weeks or whatever it is, or you're going to be challenged like before the coronavirus on everything within labor problems, increase in expenses, occupancy costs, all these different factors. Would you like a job? I always say that the lectures that I've done is that most of the people that run restaurants never went to business school, because at business school, they probably tell you not to open a restaurant.
Yes,
Right?
day one.
Day one, don't open a restaurant. But you look at the people that are out there. That's why I have a heart for them, because they are some of the hardest working people out there. They're tough as nails, and I think they're innovative beyond levels. And I really believe they lead a lot of the business, I guess, aspects of what real business is. That's a core fundamental of working hard. They lead a lot of those core identities, and I think that's important.
And I think very few people say, I'm looking for a viable business. Maybe I'll open a restaurant. What do you think I should make? It's more like, people have this thing that's woven into their DNA where they like to share food and create those awesome experiences at a table for people. Yeah. And they have like I just fucking love poutine. I got to open up a poutine restaurant, or like, I love pizza. I got a different way to do it. I have a special sourdough crust. I got to share it with the world. Most people aren't like, yeah, I think to pay for my kids' college, I'm going to open a restaurant. So anyway, hopefully we can fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it comes down to those. What you keep saying is the same thing. They're selling the food, and I think we're all in agreement. You're not selling food out there. And I think that what this is going to do now is make people realize this has nothing to do with the food on the table, right? This is the brand, this is the build, this is the culture, this is what everybody has to do now, because it ain't about selling food. And I think that's what's good. I think that's going to be a great competition out there. It's going to be strong out there. I've been preaching that for 11 years of doing this shit, just doing nothing but brand build and culture build. And, like we had the Smoked Poutinerie World Famous Great Canadian Cross Country Pie Gravy Train Fries Curd Gravy Weird Wild and Wacky Poutine Eating Tour. Like, that's the shit it's all about. You take the poutine and product to the people. So guess what? 2020, 2021, 2022, we'll bring it back, right? Going coast to coast, taking the product to the fans, taking the extreme to the fans, the entertainment to the fans. Like we did, I don't know if you guys even knew that, we had the poutine wrestling, where it literally was the four wall ring, and had the peeps wrestling in poutine, and we had in Kelowna people stopping in the wine barrels, making poutine into wine, and people drinking it. Like, that's fun. That's
Rwanda?
taking
Yeah.
weird, wild, and wacky to the people. That's what you have to do. And then guess what? Then hey, what do you sell? What do you do? Hey, there must be some good food. Oh, poutine, I'll try it. But if that's not what you're selling, and people are doing that, going to be forced to do it now, they're already having to do it, and that's going to be good for everybody, right? It's going to be very entertaining, anyways.
No.
Yeah, I was, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What I was going to say is it's really interesting. Mark and I, and Ryan, I don't know if you know this, but for 20 years, we've been marketing and brand guys. I own an advertising agency. Mark worked at a shop too. So we've built brands for a living for other people. So this Girl Dads exercise for us was like, can we do it for ourselves? Like build something great. What's really interesting is our friends in the restaurant industry, okay, and they're pretty wide and vast now, have been saying, hey, I think to Jay's point earlier, calling us and saying, can you guys, consult? Like, we need to take an audit on the whole thing now. Like, how do we get back to the core essence of the brand DNA, the being? What do we want to be when we go into the new different? And how can we apply that? And it's something that, as marketers, it's like that's what we're trained to do. That's what we've always done. We're just applying it to a situation where you got to do it hard and fast, even faster. But you still got to take the right time to figure out what the brand is, okay, and figure out how that moves and what you offer.
That's hilarious. You don't know if you do. I owned a branding and design company before this for 11 years.
You did as well?
So that's what makes it all. It's all about brand. All about brand. That's what I brought. I had never been in the food industry. I'd never set foot in the kitchen before I started this puppy. So that's what people got to get a grasp on. It's forcing it on them now, which is good. That's going to be awesome, right? And then it's coming up with the weird, wild, and wacky stuff. That's our positioning to help fight against and battle the big boys, who will still be there. We'll still have all the big guys against us. Hopefully, we'll still have all the strong independents still there. Hopefully, and we're just going to be all stronger and making for better experience and having that great time. But yeah, I can't wait to get you guys down here, check out some of the stuff that we do, and I'll even send you some of the stuff we did as disruptors. I've coined ourselves as disruptors from the very beginning, just going toe to toe with some of the big boys up here. Like don't know if you heard about the Mac Daddy poutine that I had. It came in two sizes. I had the small Mac Daddy and the Big Mac Daddy, and it had special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on fries, curd, and gravy. So this company had a problem with
McDowell's
that. I had no idea. I had no idea.
That company that's got a yellow logo.
yeah. There's
that one.
Yeah, it had
they didn't like that.
Well, I mean, look.
I had no idea.
Ryan, Mark and I both have our Too Tight jerseys that we are happy to wear to do some poutine wrestling. So you let us know.
Ooh, yeah.
You let us know when you want us to come up there. We've been known to get in the gravy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right, Mark?
Can we edit that out? I really wish you didn't say that.
No.
Sorry.
No, sorry, that one sticks. But anyways, we have to get on to our challenge because I literally have to take you all down.
Oh, I'm about to win. Hold on.
Just wait. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for those insights to our industry, because it is, thinking about, I'm working on some seminars and stuff that we're going to help our customers with here, and I'm proud to work for a company that believes in relationships like we have with Ryan, and now that we have with the Grill Dads, and we know how important it is to be close together. And they always say this, that we're in this together, and we really are. But I really am just proud to have you guys on here to be able to provide some insights to operators that really don't have those channels to be talking to people about and hearing it from experts and from what you guys are doing. So thank you so much on that. And
I just want to say one last thing on that.
Okay.
And because Faye and I always think about, like, hey, we're giving advice to restaurateurs, but we don't own restaurants. I actually think in this day and time, the best advice for you, the best advice you're going to get is from someone that's never worked in a restaurant, because they're not going to be shackled to how it's been done. And it'll really allow you to think about, like, how would I do it from scratch, having no baggage.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm going to jump on that just really quick before we go into our challenge. Is that Simon Sinek, one of my favorite speakers. He's always said that, Mark, is that when you look at doing different initiatives and stuff in business, is that why would you always invite the people that are always in your department? Because typically what they're going to say anyways. So there's no disruption. And I think when you bring in other people's point of views that are not from the industry, or necessarily maybe rubs the side of the industry, but not necessarily in it every day, you're going to get a total different viewpoint that you never seen before from people that you normally have. It's like when I bring people into different meetings, I typically know what they're going to say already, right? But when you bring someone in, you don't know what they're going to say, and sometimes it's crazy, but a lot of the times it's amazing ideas. And I think that's a really good point, is to look at everyone's advice today, sit back and look at it, take risks, learn from people like you guys, and to get ready to come back fighting, because it is going to be interesting as we see these big boys open up their marketing ideas and their branding avenues and what they're going to do. But I really believe these independents are gonna give them a run for their money. So anyway,
fire it up, baby. Fire it up.
so anyways,
Survival.
2020, the first. This is going to be an annual event. So when you guys are like 60 years old, and you're going to roll up in your wheelchairs, and
At 60, bro.
well,
Jeez.
by that time you guys will be flying in your fancy corporate plane,
All right.
your grill dad jet, and
Like that.
yeah. The grill dad
Right now,
jet.
the Grill Dad jet says Southwest on the outside.
Does it? It doesn't say Greyhound.
Don't,
It
no,
has
right
a-
now
it
it
doesn't
says
say
jack
Greyhound
shit, Mark.
bus.
That's what it says, right?
You close your eyes, it feels like a plane. So, anyways, so the challenge is to have some fun today. We are going to have an album off, so a vinyl album off. So, who has the best vinyls? Okay. Now you can comment on the bottom part of our YouTube channel here and be able to discuss who's going to be the winner, and we'll look at that later on. But for here, I think we're just going to have a gentleman's agreement on who's got the best vinyl. So who wants to start this vinyl
Well,
off 2020?
you've been bragging the most about it. You have to start.
Oh, because Ryan fed me my lunch a few weeks ago with the kiss off.
that was no problem.
That was
You
I
suck,
think
man. You were awful.
that was well, you don't pull out a picture. Come on.
By the way, just to clarify, this doesn't need to be an Our Lady Peace record, right? We can do any.
This is
from anywhere.
That's awesome.
so, Ryan, you got to put your nickel back away.
Oh, damn it. Well, you said this is going to be happening for a long time. The only problem is I brought out the only 3 that I own. So it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing today, baby.
So what do you want to start with, guys?
I only brought one. So
you better go at the end then. You better wait till the end then.
I think I mean, if I go first, you guys won't even want to go. So I think I should go last.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So who wants? Faye, you up?
Sure, man. So are we just showing one, right? In the interest of time?
Oh, we can show.
I have a
couple.
shitload of records.
I'm just showing 3. I only got 3.
Let's go 3.
3?
Yeah.
All right.
And
These
then
are kind of strange.
We'll bring Mark out for a left hook.
So this is a weird one.
What's
You guys
this?
see? Hold on.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. You guys familiar with Leon Redbone?
Yep.
Okay. I know you are, Mark. So if you're not, he just died. Well, he didn't just die. A couple
Is
years
that
ago.
Warner Brothers at the bottom?
So he was the guy that did a lot of music, okay, back in the day for Warner Bros. That's the Frog, yeah. But he's the guy that once you hear his Southern Dixieland voice and is like very like, oh baby, like he's awesome, man. You'll love it. Okay, that's that.
Okay,
I'm
just
gonna
wait, don't show
then
your other
show-
2 yet. Ryan,
Oh,
off
no?
to you. Ryan,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
what do
my
you got? What do you got?
first one is going to be Kiss Crazy Nights, the picture disc.
That's
Come
good.
on.
That's good. Yeah.
Perhaps signed. Perhaps signed.
Is that signed? Is that signed?
Maybe signed with my signature.
Wow. Wow, with your signature? Ouch. Okay, well, I got to dig in my pile now. So I know this is a good one.
I have that.
Ooh.
I have that album.
Does that have too much time on my hands on that record?
That one, no. No, it doesn't.
No.
That's strong. We'll give you that one.
Was that pretty good?
Yeah, it's
Pretty
pretty good.
good. Pretty good.
Was that pretty good? It's pretty good. This, by the way, these ain't like polygram stuff recreated. These are original.
Got to be original.
Well, yeah, they got to be original.
Can
But
I
you
just say, since I,
Have you already lost?
Let's just pretend I'm gonna win for a second. And it pains me to say this, but I think Faye hands down wins round one.
Come on,
to Faye.
picture disc,
Dude, Leon Red. Thank you, Mark. Leon Red. By the way, obscure. Everyone has a Kiss album, so relax.
Oh no, that's my next one too. Oh no.
I know it is. That's all you have.
That's all I have.
Kiss is about lasers and explosions. It's not about. I mean, the music is terrible.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say they're lazy.
I'm gonna go to the next
no,
one.
no.
I'm gonna go to the next one because I have a controversial album. Okay.
Okay, Faye.
This is the next one.
Here we go. No.
Oh.
I got a Bill Cosby comedy album in my hands right now. See how young he is, people?
Get it off. Edit.
I'm just saying, it's controversial, man. But it's a piece of history.
Ouch.
Yeah, okay. It is. That puts you up there. I'll give you that.
All right, go ahead. I'm not done yet, so keep going.
Okay, Ryan.
Oh, me. This one,
Let me guess, Kiss?
I know somebody else probably has this, but this is rare of rare. Okay, this is the 3-album set.
You both have it. I was gonna say, I know you both have it.
See, I knew he'd come with it. All right, this is like their first 3. Okay, before we're talking box sets happen. Okay, and this one, which I'm so much better than this is signed by my Auntie Debbie. Aunt Debbie Doherty is signed right there.
Yeah, she signed one of my albums too, man. So yeah, we both have that. It's cool.
I heard that about her back in the day.
Ryan,
again, edit.
Here's my uncle's signature too.
That's hilarious. Your uncle and like my aunt. Like something about what were they doing together?
Anyways, you want a little piece of this?
I got the winner. I got the winner at the end. So I'm
ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
Huh?
That's
Look
good.
at that.
Smurfing sing along is good.
Look at that,
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I have that. I
Alright.
believe I have that on. Yeah.
You still listen to that? Can you even hear it? You wore it out.
You're a pink toothbrush?
You can vote for me again, Mark. I had the Cosby.
Just because I don't vote for rapists, I'm going to let Smurfs win round 2.
Right.
Come on, man!
Boom.
I've worked hard at this.
Is this the last one? Is this the last one?
I knew I was gonna lose that one.
This next one, I've got it. There you go.
Nobody
Hey,
who's
Faye.
a convicted sex offender, please, Faye.
Okay, Faye. Yeah, let's cut that one out.
Just
What's
John
this?
Coltrane, right? No big deal.
He's and all of a sudden you're gonna pull something out from behind it, right?
What's that bottom part?
See that?
Is that signed?
That's his autograph.
I love Coltrane.
Ooh.
Nice.
So, sorry, I got John Coltrane's autograph.
I don't know.
That's almost making me nervous.
It's good.
Is that good? I have the
I've
most
got-
legendary jazz musician of all time's autograph. Okay.
Well, wait till you
Your
see
brother
this one.
signed that.
No,
when he was drunk. It's not a
Nope.
real autograph.
That's a real one. That's a real one.
This one beats it though, and the only reason is because not only is this rare, it's the only one ever in existence. All right, ever.
All right.
Are you gonna? You have? Are you referring to a Kiss album with good songs on it?
This is Welcome to the Show. Okay, it was presented to me by all my global headquarters. They referred to it as instead of the MVP, the MVCEO, and it has my 3 favorite tracks on it.
Wow.
It's Crazy Nights by Kiss, Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue, and Nothing But a Good Time by
You know what? Hey,
Coltrane!
No, I gotta say, hey Mark, this is significant. It's the only album ever made with 2 B-sides.
Hey,
So
I
I
don't.
think it's pretty
As long as
pretty
there is
incredible.
No one has it. No one in the world has it but me.
As long as there isn't a Kiss song on that record, it's better than your first 2.
And I will sell it.
I will
the
sell
right
it for food. Right.
Sold.
All right, Jay. All right, Jay.
Now, this was a hit in the 80s. Actually,
I like it already. I love it.
you're right.
Yeah,
This
me
was
too.
1983 KTell. Right? From the US. You guys don't know what KTell is.
Mm-mm.
Right? Ryan, you remember KTell Saturday morning, KTell specials would advertise.
The mini pops. That's it. You gotta play that. You gotta play that, man.
Right? Look at that.
God.
You guys,
Hey, Terrence. Yes, Philip. Hey, buddy. That's what I feel about that album right now.
So, what does the wind smell like? A fart.
A fart. I don't know, Terrence.
A fart.
Are you guys ready?
Yes,
So-
you win. You win. This is it. We're the winner. Let's see it.
Mark,
The trophy's heavy. I need to stretch.
He's got to stretch. This is the 2020
You're right.
Vinyl Championship.
I feel bad even showing this to you guys because I mean, all right, here we go.
What is it? I can't read it.
Why do you have that?
This is music from the motion picture soundtrack, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. This movie connected with me, and I'm not going to take your ridicule.
We have a winner!
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We
It's pretty good,
have a
Mark.
winner. And
All right.
no signatures like what the rest of us had, but hey, I guess you're all right.
That's cool.
Wow.
But Mark, that you had the confidence to come on this program and divulge that. I mean, I knew it.
Yeah.
He's wept to that record before. In the corner.
in his corner, in his couch.
Yeah.
With his,
And his tiny couch. Mark, go sit in your tiny couch and show us how tiny that couch
His Hudson Bay blanket.
Please go sit in the tiny couch.
That couch isn't even real. This is a painting. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm actually.
It's awesome.
Well,
Wow.
thanks for humiliating me. I'm last place. I admit it. I'm last place, but
okay.
I had some other ones, guys. Just so you know,
Was Faye disqualified for
I had a little Zeppelin.
the Sex Offender album? I mean, I don't know.
Whoa. At the time, well, he probably was at the time. I apologize, but no one knew that when he was popular. As
as long as you
I have Jonathan
don't,
Winter.
as long as you don't have a personal signature there, that's all I'd worry about.
There's no. I mean, I could have brought so many different albums, but I didn't.
Look at this one. This was a good one. I should have brought out.
That's a good one.
Little Village
That's
people.
good.
The Village P.
The Village
All right.
P.
Coltrane wins. Sorry, everybody.
Little.
It's pretty
I could
good
brought out a
one.
little
Thanks, Mark.
gambler. I had a little gambler.
Ooh,
I have that
on
album.
record.
I have that album.
He
You guys
died.
have this down here, Prism.
I'm just gonna hold this up for the rest of the time.
Right? No, you know what?
Dude,
Right?
that's legit.
Right? This was my. I was going to use this one, but this is my Kiss album.
Oh,
I
fuck
know.
you! This made me look so cheap. It made me look so bad.
Right? I got to make up from that last time.
I'm just gonna keep repeating last time.
Look at
Just
this.
gonna
Look
let
at
that loop.
I just remember the first. I mean,
Yeah.
so when I saw Kiss, I showed you guys before we started that I had a chance to photograph them, and I was super excited. And they started playing. I'm like, this is worse than Spinal Tap.
What are you talking about? They're like so good live. They don't
But
do any
it's
fake
like,
mic.
Wow.
You are
like-
pissing me off.
It's like a kindergarten nursery rhyme with a guitar that has distortion on it.
Wow.
But it's about good
Wow.
times, man.
I've never
Good
had to
times, real
mute someone on
time.
my show before.
I didn't want to
Wow.
tell you in advance because I thought maybe you wouldn't have me.
Wow. Let's go back to Smokes. Anyways,
All right.
I have to say, Mark, that is, I'll give you that. I give you my agreement. You took home the
Yeah.
award for the 2020 vinyl off.
That was
Awesome
pretty
job.
pretty damn
Yeah.
good.
Pretty good.
Faye, close
where-
second.
where does one pick
played
that
it out.
up,
You played
though?
it out nice.
Oh, I don't actually own this record. I just printed this out while we were on the
Oh,
Burn! Oh, he takes that trophy and then he shoves it in her face.
I'm taking it back, Mark. I'm taking it
Wow.
from you. Rick.
nasty.
That's nice. That is nice. I like it.
All right.
Wow.
All right,
Well,
Jay.
you know
We
what,
appreciate you,
guys? I just thanks again everything you do. You know, it is awesome to be able to shed some light, have a laugh or two in these dark times, and really, you know, pay homage to our restaurateurs out there and everything that we're doing. You know, Ryan, what you're doing with your company and everything. You know, I hope all the best for you, and I know you guys are gonna rock it. You're gonna rock it out there. We're there beside you all the way. And the Grill Dads, it's just been an honor to be able to connect with you guys, get to know you guys, have a laugh or two.
We have fun doing this, man. I do have to say one thing. When Faye said, "Do you want to be on the Cisco podcast?" I said, "I will, but I need payment, and that payment is a case of Cisco mozzarella sticks, and I still haven't received any tracking information." But
So the
you know,
border's closed, man.
The borders, mozzarella sticks can make it through. Okay.
Yeah, this is essential. This is
Essential work.
Department of Homeland Security has designated mozzarella sticks as essential.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll talk to government, right?
And make sure the world's largest poutine kit gets to them. Okay.
Oh, we're making that, brother.
I really want. Faye and I love poutine.
Yeah, man. So Ryan, kudos. Nice to talk to you, dude, and keep crushing it. We're big fans. We can't wait to have the food, actually. But you're a cool dude, despite your shortcomings, and we've been it's been nice to talk to you on here. During us podcasts.
Yeah. Rock on, guys. It was awesome.
Thanks for having us
again, guys. Everyone else, listen to us on podcast, every which one podcast you want. And also, we're going to be up on YouTube. Plus, check out foodiesunite.ca. Plus, our snapback toolkit to help you along the way to get back into business.
Snap forward.
I love that. And Ryan, please, I'm gonna send you flowers for that album. But thanks again, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure. And to everyone else, let's get back into business. We're ready for it. So
right on.
Russell, thanks so much. Take care.
Thanks for having us.